Welcome back to the Inner Alchemist TV. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look into Maurice Scott of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Before we get started, please like the video. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and also that you have your notification bells on. So the reading is opening up with the Six of Wands, and that's being crossed by the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like this Knight of Pentacles kind of describes Maurice's disposition right now, and also maybe a little bit of his strategy. Now, there are two knights here in this spread, and sometimes two knights running up against each other can represent conflict. Conflict with somebody that is the same rank as you, that is the same size as you, as opposed to you maybe being able to pick on somebody who's at a disadvantage, right? The Knight of Pentacles is somebody that moves slow and very methodically and tries to be patient so that they can secure or assure the victory. There may have been some periods in the past where there was like some impulsive movement and somebody kind of like bit off more than they could chew. I know that for a fact because I have that Eight of Wands in reverse there, but this is saying trying a new strategy of kind of like playing it more maybe benign or conservative. But I think that this may be to cover up some more fraudulent behavior that has happened, but he's more so working on presenting or I don't know, displaying himself as somebody who would not need to do that because they are conservative and very cautious, right? So this is what I think his strategy is as far as his presentation and how he's going about things, especially as it pertains to the court situation. He's trying to present himself as somebody who follows the straight and narrow path, that, you know, colors within the line, stays in the rules, whatever you want to call it. But in all actuality, what he wants to do is figure out a way to do this safely and to assure his win. And he's maybe overkilling it a little bit with the research and the, like I said, the planning, because he's just trying to be it's like a better safe than sorry type of thing, right? This is somebody who, I don't know, I feel like he's resourceful from the perspective of he knows some loopholes that where the culmination may not be right away, but there's like something where he's studying something in order to be able to exploit some type of loophole or something like that. Yeah, but anyways, a lot of it has to do with him just taking a common sense approach, and like I said, controlling his impulses and make sure that he's at least presenting as a slow person. That's all I can say it, right? Definitely he's gonna figure it out. That's his attitude. He's like, I'm gonna figure out how to do this, or I'm gonna figure out how to get beyond this, right? But the one thing about the Knight of Coins is that this is like somebody who's taking like the scenic route, right? And so with that's giving me like a spirit of somebody like dragging something out, and I'm not understanding why. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's because, you know, I had got this instinct not too long ago, and I think this Knight of Coins and this Six of Wands kind of like clarifies that a bit for me. But it was that Maurice was being put out there as like to test the waters, but there's at least two more lawsuits that are going to be filed, maybe by other members of the cast, or they're going to join together on a lawsuit together or something like that. But there's two more, it looks like, or even three. I'm thinking more like two though, plus him, which would make the total of three. But anyway, so he was the one to go first, or he was the one to be put up front so that they could maybe get information about the process or get information about how the system is working. Yeah, so that's pretty much what his disposition is. There's also, to me, giving me like a sense of stubbornness. There's something that Maurice is holding on to, and I think it has more to do with like pride or maybe ego, especially with this Six of Wands and this Knight of Coins. And this is almost giving me a vibe like, don't let your pride and ego blow something out of proportion that's already in proportion. You know what I mean? And like I said, there was like a previous impulse, and some of the decisions he's making, this Knight of Coins is coming to like slow you all the way down, and again make you have a more methodical and plain approach. I think some of his aggressive actions, because the Eight of Wands is there in reverse, I think some of his aggressive actions maybe affected or impacted the way that he was going to be perceived in a case, and he's like trying to switch up his style or switch up his disposition as far as how he's appearing, right? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. But anyways, There's something about him, maybe like I said, looking at the details of everything, going over things, trying to be more careful, because it looks like there was some previous missteps that may have cost him. And this is also him having received some bad news pertaining to, I don't know, maybe the lawsuit or maybe the case. I was reading this for not just the lawsuit, but the justice came up. The justice card came up. So I know that's a part of kind of what this reading is about. But anyways, the Page of Pentacles to me, when it's in reverse, is about you not having all the education that you needed to pursue this. Like I said, you kind of jumped out the window too fast, impulsively. Again, I think a while back I did a reading, not the latest one. Listen, go back and watch that last reading of Maurice and Kimmy. But a while back, it was talking about him being kind of like emotionally trying to do something to defend Kimmy, and he may have just like jumped off the porch with this, you know what I mean, just based on emotion of the situation, and impulsively did something. But it looks like it's kind of like, I don't want to say backfiring, because like I said, there's some loopholes to still be exploited, but he has to change. It's like a whole change of approach, and it involves him getting more education about it. I don't want to say he didn't know what he was doing, but it's almost like he's looking for laws that have to do with protecting himself with this Four of Wands. I'm looking at the Page of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Wands, right? That to me is you seeking protection, because there's some things that you are not educated about, right? Also, it's saying like whatever expectation he had, or however he thought this thing was going to go, it's not going like that. Whatever, like I said, whatever huge potential you saw in the situation, and there was maybe something idealistic about it, or maybe some type of vision Maurice had about how things will pan out, they're not panning out exactly like that. But again, it's because there's some loophole that he needs to learn, or some loophole that he hasn't yet exploited. And it's just, and the things that he is learning, or the people that are helping him, he's not even grasping the information that's being given. You know what I mean? I honestly, I think he bit off more than what he could chew. And this Page of Pentacles is giving me like a sensation of like you having dropped the ball, or you dropping the ball. But like I said, it's also you trying to figure out how to reshape or reframe this. So maybe you're stalling out. You know, there's some, like I said, there's a stubborn attachment to you doing it in the first place. But now I see you kind of like procrastinating, lagging, stalling out as you try to figure out how to kind of like wiggle your way in and out of something. You know what I mean? Yeah, so the Knight of Coins, though, is very confident that through their research and through their change of approach, which they maybe pride themselves on, being able to adjust, albeit slowly, they have an attitude like it'll all come out in a wash. You know what I mean? So I don't see like a heavy sense of him being worried, even though his enemies are right at the gates. He got the Nine of Wands in reverse. That's like saying your enemies is here. Whether you think they here, whether you respect that they here or not, they right up in your face. Period, point blank. I also think that oh, let's move forward. So the Knight of Wands is in reverse. This is another card of blocked or delayed progress. Like I said, I feel like this is Maurice intentionally trying to slow down the process. Like I said, by stalling, procrastinating, that's moving in the below and the above. With the Page of Coins in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. So yeah, he's stalling out. He's stalling out for something because they're trying to find some type of loophole, or maybe even some type of justification for the things that he did. I don't know exactly what he did, but I know I pulled cards on him, and it said something about it said that's some type of fraudulent activity. But it also mentioned like the discovery of like a new law or a new motion or something. There's some loophole there, and again, I don't know if he's found it yet or if he's looking for it, but that's a consistent theme through both of his spreads now at this point. So anyway, so now we're moving through the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is a delay. This is somebody, like I said, who's unable to move forward, and this is also somebody who's like doing something but without like a real solid cause for it. You know what I mean? And it's and like I said, I think it's just more of that crusade energy, but you have your Eight of Wands in reverse, your Nine of Wands in reverse, and then this Knight of Wands in reverse. And to me, it's just showing me that you took some impulsive actions that gained you some enemies, and now I don't know. Now you're blocked. Now you're knee deep in something. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting out of that. It also shows that through your stubbornness, maybe there was a situation where you were kind of instinctively told to back off of something, or maybe not be a bully, or maybe not. I feel like there was something where he was maybe trying to like bully with his image. Remember when I talked about the Knight of Coins kind of wanting to be more steady, more reliable, show themselves as calm, maybe patient? That I feel like on the inside he's much more impulsive and reactionary than what he appears. And there is an element to him showing in this reading of him being a bully. And like I said, it comes so hard and so fast that he kind of missteps in the planning process. You know what I mean? So now you're having to go back and recover ground that you've already covered, and your enemies are gaining on you with that Nine of Wands. Like, they're right there. But he was trying to show off, or maybe flex. That's what it is. He was maybe trying to flex a little bit, but his flexing was coming across as like bullying in the ethers, in the spiritual world, in the tarot readings. And I think that that's why there's some blocked progress, right? We living in a time of instant karma. We live in a time of instant karma. Just watch your step. I'm in the business of manifesting, cleansing, protecting. And to me, I feel like you can have anything you want. You can do anything you want. You can wish anything on anybody you want. But the rule is that you have to be willing to pay for it. And sometimes you pay for it with your life force, you know what I mean? Or your mental capabilities, or your family's wellness and things like that. So it's just not often worth it. It's just not. But anyway, some people, they get so vengeful that they just see red. And seeing red is you not seeing the end of it. You know what I mean? It's you not being able to see through to the end. Because you have that flash of fire in your eyes that's kind of blinding you to the possibilities, right? Anyway, so Maurice has shown that he was impatient and did something reckless, or like I said, that he didn't think all the way through, and it really just caused like a bigger fire or a bigger storm than what he was actually prepared for. And now it's like, okay, we're breaking, we're back to the drawing board, we're re-strategizing, you trying to clean up your image, trying to slow it down a bit, or at least conceal more of that vulnerable, impulsive side of yourself until we can re-strategize. So I see this thing like being dragged out. I see it being dragged out a little bit. Anyways, the Nine of Wands is here, like I said, in reverse. I feel like this is about your enemies closing in on you, like I said, but it's also about you feeling confined, and you, like I said, looking for kind of like this way out. I feel like maybe there's too many, like I said, there's too many ways in which you're caught up. And again, this is you like a rat looking for a loophole. He's literally scrambling around for a loophole. And again, I feel like this has to do with lack of planning. You know what I mean? Draining, tired. The whole process is draining. And you being impulsive. So there's a strong, and I feel like I said, that impulsiveness has to do with your stubbornness, and with that Six of Wands coming in at the beginning of the reading, it has to do with your ego. Most definitely. Yeah, so that's where we're at with it. I think that Maurice is trying to do something to overcome. I don't know. I feel like I can't say overcome, not overcome the details of the case, but like I said, overcome some of the things that he did to damage his position. You know what I mean? Like, he was supposed to be the one put out there to test the waters, I think, because he was blameless, but Maurice did something fraudulent. And it was an impulse. It was maybe like a decision or something that was presented to him quickly, and he was like, yeah, let's do that. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like looked at all the way through. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I think again, that Nine of Wands in reverse with that Knight of Wands in reverse and that Eight of Wands in reverse, I think that just reinforces that feeling of you being impulsive or doing something rash, and that kind of like I don't know, backfiring on you. I'm also showing that Maurice has been exhausted. You know, with Kimmy being sick, maybe there's been like a prolonged period of illness. There's a lot of nagging energy, and I don't know if this stress also led to him maybe trying to take that out. I'm not saying that nothing was done wrong to him or that this is not about blame. That's not my point with the tarot. My point is just to look at the interchange, and what this is saying that there was like a certain amount of stress or illness that he was going through, and then he started making some impulsive decisions, like I said, doing something outside of the scope of his abilities. All this shit seems to be coming back around, and now there's like this hurried energy to clean up your energy and make it look like you're not that impulsive, rash guy, you know what I mean? But your decisions and the way that you're moving is showing that. But it could have been like a breakdown from dealing with illness, you know what I mean? Dealing with, it seems like the cast has been going under a lot of things, right? If you think about it, right? Yeah, so that's what's going on now. Moving forward to the near future, we have the Three of Pentacles. I didn't clear, where's my deck? I didn't clarify that. Why didn't I clarify the Three of Pentacles? The Three of Pentacles, this is showing me the two other suits that potentially may be filed. I don't know what that's in regards to, but I think it has to do with two other cast members. And like I said, them having him go out there as like the example, or the, what they call it, the crash dummy, so that they can learn how all of this works. There's a lot of cards of them trying to learn how these systems work in order that they may use them to their advantage. And honestly, it looks like there's like a quest with this external environment, the Magician and the Ace of Pentacles. They're looking for some type of like, I don't know, settlement or money value themselves. I don't know if they plan on getting this from YouTube, like as far as, or if they themselves plan on proving a harassment case. I don't know, but it looks like they're trying themselves to get some money. Why this Seven of Swords, y'all? This Seven of Swords has been all throughout my political readings. It's now in this reading with Maurice. This is like, I'm telling you, this is like the time of exposure. I know people talk a lot about Age of Aquarius. I'm not really into that. I think that's just like some type of slogan. I hate fads. I hate how everybody just jumps on the same thing. Like the lack of originality in the world is so uninspiring sometimes. You know what I mean? But I also understand that it's more easy to go with the tone of the overall environment than to stand in your own individual truth, because you're dealing with people in media. You know, people think they know you by the things that you say. They attach to you, that, you know, and it's like, you know, like you're like, wow, like I don't know these people. It's crazy how you look at these things play out. Anyways, the Three of Pentacles is here in reverse, right? I mean, the Three of Pentacles is here upright. And then we have that cross by the Seven of Swords in reverse. Now, this is about, I feel, him getting some type of support. And again, I feel like that support is from other cast members, whether this be monetary or even them serving as some sort of witness, or even maybe even writing with these Page of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. They could even be writing some type of statements or what do you call it? Like notarized statements, to help maybe be like character witness or something like that. But this is looking like him having like some support that's coming in from somewhere else. I don't know who that could be though, because I don't see any, like, I don't see, well, there's one King of Wands here, so I don't know. But usually when I think about Carlos or the networks, I'm looking for things like the Emperor. I did see the Emperor in reverse at the bottom of the deck, but I did not declare that the overall energy before I flipped it, so I left it out of the spread. But that's something that I would look for when I would say, okay, who's helping him? Is Carlos helping him? Is Own helping him? I don't necessarily see that. I don't see that he's getting any help that way. I think the help may be coming more so from the people that he's collaborating with on this particular project or effort, because the Three of Coins is a team. You know what I mean? This is a team, but this is a team maybe working together to expose something, or to expose someone, or to get somebody caught. You know what I mean? This is like a plan that's put in together to expose. Like I always tell you guys, the Seven of Swords in reverse, they get caught. And not only get caught, they get exposed. So I feel like there's a couple people that are working together to expose something or someone, right? And I don't know if it's going to happen during this court case or with the subsequent cases that may potentially be filed. But whatever it is, this is a plan with this Knight of Coins and this Three of Pentacles. This is a strategy. This is a strategy that 3 or more people are involved in, and this came after, though, Maurice filed his lawsuit, right? So now it's like, okay, everybody, it's like organized time, organize and plan, and do everything to the T. Follow the plan and follow instructions. Maurice, he in the past was like emotional. Like I said, I think that had to do with like stress, relationship problems, illness, things like that. And he moved too impulsively and messed up the plan. Maybe it was just him at the time, but now there's more people involved, and they're saying like, do it exactly like this, like follow these exact same steps. You know what I mean? So this has to do with the job. This has to do with all of them cooperating together, and getting key people involved to show them how. I don't even know if they're working with the attorneys of OWN or anything like that, but there's some outside support that's come in, and it has to do with like their team. You know, I don't see, like I said, a big organization per se, but they may have sent somebody over, like a law professional or a paralegal, or sent a resource or some type of penal code or something, right? There's an independent contractor here. Maybe they hired somebody to help them to evaluate the case as it is right now, and to show them how to present. Like, it looks like there's some coaching here, and like I said, the coaching being on how to present himself, not as a victim, but as somebody who is an upright citizen, well-meaning, thinks that they were operating within the confines of the law and made a misstep. But his misstep wasn't a misstep. It was like he actually committed some type of fraud, which I didn't go into. That was just in my last cards that I pulled before I actually converted it to an actual reading. You know what I mean? Because I can pull the cards and look at it overall. I can do a tarot reading in 1 minute, but this is a YouTube video, so you really have to get into like the storytelling and really like paint the picture for people to visualize the situation. You know what I mean? But technically you can look at it as a reader and know what's going on, but the thing is, you got to story tell. You know what I mean? And so the story involves the background, the mood, the environment, the tone, the emotion. That's the part that I honestly really like. You know what I mean? That's the part where my life skills and the things that I've been to come into play, and I can be useful and functional in my experiences. And that's how you pick your readers. You know what I mean? Based on how they project their understanding of life. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, and I'm thinking about doing a reading on Sonia Massey. I don't know. I've been getting called to do that. I want to know if you guys would be interested in that. Let me know. I'm going to do it anyway. But I still like hearing from y'all. Y'all know I miss y'all dearly, playing with y'all in these comment section. But it's too hot. You know, your girl, you know, I don't be in the kitchen that long. So I gotta stay in my little zen zone, because that's who I really am. But anyway, so that's kind of where I see them going with it. They're trying to make improvements, are trying to strengthen his position. Also, I don't know, there's somebody getting summoned to court too. I don't know who this is. I don't know if this has to do with the Seven of Swords coming in as a person. But it looks like I said, either more people are going to file or somebody else is going to be called in. I don't know if they're called in as a witness. But somebody about to get subpoenaed or summoned. I don't know who that is, but it's definitely on the way. They planning on who. I don't know if they planning on who's gonna speak or who's gonna write what, but they linking up. The link up is real. All right, let's move forward. So we have that Eight of Wands in reverse I told you guys about. That was that impulsive, aggressive, you know, just hostile energy that he was moving in. And then it's clarified by the Justice card. So that was like that Justice card to me was representing the lawsuit. And then the Eight of Wands, you coming in with that Eight of Wands in reverse, was just showing me that you did this shit impulsively, like you were trying to flex. You know what I mean? But it's like like I said, you also put the 2 on the 10, and that's where your ass got caught up. You know what I mean? So it's like you got got off your square. And even them putting you out there as an unproblematic person, which is what I'm seeing with that Knight of Coins, unproblematic, proud, upright, upstanding citizen, you did in fact do something, emotionally. I mean, and I don't say emotionally with any derogatory. Everybody likes to throw emotional out as like an insult, but I'm not saying it that way. I'm saying it as in you didn't fully see it out when you did it. You just did it, and now it's like now you're getting like exploited by that virtue, right? So this is you running into a problem in the justice system. Period. This is you getting into a dispute. This is also you having developed some type of infatuation, maybe with content creators, maybe with bloggers, maybe with the way that this thing is done. I feel like Maurice has been maybe the one sitting in the background watching a lot of the space and watching a lot of the interplay and dynamics. Maybe he's not too involved. Maybe he doesn't show his face up front, but he's the one who's been trying to study the space and grasp it and see how all these pieces are coming together. And that's why I think that they're linking up and trying to figure out how they can best benefit from the situation or who they can hold accountable within themselves. So Maurice is actually the person with the most knowledge about the YouTube space, our YouTube space, right? I mean, because I make content over here too. So I don't want to make it like it's an alienation thing. I feel like they're watching everything and everyone. But they're really trying to find the root so that they can know who to go after, because I'm sure they're trying to get some money themselves, maybe not out of the content creators, but again, maybe out of a larger system at play, because when you have this magician and the ace of coins together, this is you going for it. This is you using all of your power, all of your resources, and you getting some type of leg up. I don't want to say inheritance, but this is you getting some type of benefit or retribution, restitution. This is you getting, I don't know, like, what do they say? Like a penny for your troubles. I don't know what the saying is, but this is you being paid for your troubles. You know what I mean? And this is in your external environment. So, or if not that, this is a financial resource coming. This is a more powerful, and then you have that help there. So yeah, maybe some organization is linking up, because this is a more powerful entity coming in with some type of resource, or whether it be a financial resource, a legal resource, or something like that. Yep. This is somebody coming out of nowhere. And like, I don't know, this is a win. This is a win out of nowhere, but it is in your external environment. So it's like either the other party is going to win, or somebody's coming in to give you a resource or to give you some assistance to help you win, right? Whoever it is, there's a win. There's a win here. You know what I mean? And like I said, with collaborative efforts going on, with some type of like link up to expose, there's definitely some exposed type of energy here. But again, I feel like it starts with them cleaning. They're trying to clean up Maurice. I don't know why is he being the person that's out there in the front. What you guys think of that? Do you think that that's a good strategy as far as like conduct, or as far as like presenting him, I don't want to say as a victim, but do you think it's a good strategy that they put him in the front? Because there's more people involved in this, more castmates, should I say, involved in this. In any event, that's kind of what I'm showing. Definitely, there's some dishonesty or deceptions or tricks or something is finna come out. Like I said, there's 3 people. I think those are 2 other castmates that are going to be involved in it. They're going to be releasing all of their stuff to show like they don't have anything that they're trying to conceal. They're going to be very forthcoming, very open. Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like they're in denial about some of the things that they have done too. This is looking like this group of people hands is not clean. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they're pushing it out of themselves to like expose, to like make a link up plan to where it looks like they were completely, I don't want to say victimized, because nobody here is a victim. This is all about strategy, right? There's not even any victimization cards, but it's almost like they're trying to put it out like they were the target or the subject, but they're trying to like hide some of the things that they've done that damage their credibility. And it could even be as simple as him trying to hide the DUI or something, or hide, conceal, you know what I mean? It could be something like that. It doesn't have to necessarily be related to this case. But again, with him trying to polish up his image, that's how it's coming across to me. You know what I mean? Definitely. But yeah, so this is what I'm showing for Maurice. Listen, you guys have to let me know what you think down in the comments. The outcome was the moon card, and to me this is like everybody's true self. To me this is more revelation. The 7 of Swords in reverse with that moon card is just showing me everything's about to come out. You know what I mean? All the skeletons gonna come out the closet. And whatever that means, maybe we'll read the skeletons in the closet one day. But I don't think everybody's going to be in the dark for too long. And like I said, there's going to be multiple people involved in this. And listen, there's at least 2 more lawsuits that are coming. So tell me what you guys think of this reading, and I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, don't forget to check me out on the Inner Alchemist at Etsy. Yeah, you can just fish around, shop around, look around, and see what you want for yourself. Yeah, and I'll see you guys on the next one.